What is going on, everybody? My name is Zach, but you can call me Hazardous. Thank you so much for tuning back into my channel, and welcome back to another Red Dead Redemption 2 video here on the channel today. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the new Red Dead Redemption 2 Frontier Cities and Towns screenshots and descriptions that were just revealed for Red Dead Redemption 2. They were revealed earlier this morning, and most of you have probably seen this already, but this is going to be more of a long tail video, and people are going to be searching for this up until release for people who are into Red Dead Redemption 2. So I'm coming out with the video here on the channel, and we're going to talk about these screenshots kind of in depth, kind of not, just kind of glossing over everything and talking about the most important features, because I have another video coming out tomorrow that you guys are really going to enjoy. So starting off with these screenshots, you can find them on Rockstar's website, on the social club, etc. But these are just coming off of the Red Dead Redemption 2 Rockstar Games website. And first up, we have the location of Valentine in the Heartlands. And Valentine is described to be a raucous, rough and tumble town in the Heartlands. And Valentine's livestock auctions attract traders, ranchers, cowboys, gamblers, outlaws, and prostitutes from far and wide, all looking to make some money, raise some hell, and have a good time. So Valentine most reminds me of Thieves Landing in Red Dead Redemption. Now, it may not necessarily be the place for outlaws to hang out like it says here, but it's, also a place for traders, ranchers, gamblers, prostitutes. It's a seedy part of the Red Dead Redemption 2 map. This is where a lot of scum and no lives will head to just have a good time. That's Valentine. And what we can see from these screenshots, obviously each of these screenshots and locations are revealed with an old time photograph that they took in game. Now, I do want to mention that these old themed photographs could be like the new Rockstar photo mode in Red Dead Redemption 2, whatever that's going to be called, whatever it is. Maybe you could take photos like this and post them to the social club. I would hope that you could post clear screenshots and they don't have like the sepia filter and also just like the old grain, etc., and all the material and debris sitting on the photograph. But anyway, talking about these two screenshots from Valentine, we can see Dutch Vanderland, Arthur Morgan, and someone else on the back of their horse right there. That doesn't look like Sadie. That looks more like Abigail Marston perhaps, but it seems like she has blonde hair there. Anyway, these three have their weapons drawn. They're obviously about to shoot at someone, or they're mid gunfire because you can see the smoke coming off of Arthur Morgan's weapon kind of in the background there, clouding his head. It looks like he blew a big vape cloud. And then also we can see Arthur Morgan here entering either a saloon or a slop house or maybe even a bank. He's about to hold this place up, shooting his pistol into the air. I was talking about this in a video the other day that I want to be able to walk into an establishment and just pull out my gun and shoot into the air, and it looks like we could do exactly that. So that is really cool in my opinion. Moving on to the next location, we have ANNESBURG. Some people are saying it's ANNESBURG, some people are saying it's ANNESBURG, but anyway, it's in Roanoke Ridge. This reminds me of some type of burg in Virginia. Roanoke is also in Virginia as well. Obviously, Rockstar is pulling from all over the country to bring back these historic locations and geographic locations. It's not supposed to physically all take place in one area. Each location is separately inspired by different places. Some are the Rocky Mountains, some are the plains in Texas, deserts in Mexico, for example. I don't know if we're going to see Mexico, but you get the point. And also here looks like West Virginia and Virginia with the coal mines. But basically, ANNESBURG is described as life isn't easy for the miners and their families in ANNESBURG, which has been providing coal up and down the Lanaheechee River for almost a century. Working conditions are terrible for little pay, and many men have lost their lives down the pit. So this is going to be really interesting to see in the game as well. It looks like Arthur Morgan and Javier Escuela are taking on the ANNESBURG mine right here. I'm not sure if they're trying to rival a gang that's here and actually take a rival gang on in a gunfight, or if they're trying to loot something, but they're storming this ANNESBURG mine for some type of purpose, for some type of reward, and it looks really cool. That's one of my favorite screenshots in this whole entire collection here. And we can also see Arthur Morgan get a glimpse at the rest of town life here. We can see the mothers and the women. We can see the men just kind of sitting out. Everyone's sitting on their stoop and their porch, but obviously they're not dressed in super good quality clothing because, like it said, people are working for little pay here in the mines and they're very poor. Moving on, we have St. Denis or Saint Denis in the bayous. This is really cool. Just this screenshot, you could see a lot of information revealed, but the location for Saint Denis is a gateway into North America with a trade route that runs the length of the country. The bustling city of Saint Denis is a melting pot of cultures and people where businessmen, socialites, sailors, laborers, beggars, and thieves all live side by side. If these screenshots don't give you a true grasp of how big this town and city is going to be, then I don't know what will, because this is incredible. We can see this massive building here, and then moving on to the screenshots, we can see Arthur Morgan hanging on the side of a trolley cart or tram cart, basically basically the one that's in that previous screenshot. He's probably hanging onto the same one. He has his weapon drawn, and like he's physically hanging onto the side. He's not just standing there with his weapon. He's physically hanging onto the side like he's boarding it as it's running away. And I can't tell if those sparks are from a bullet ricocheting off the metal, or if like the train is like falling apart or something, or like the electric rails are dismantling and dismembering, and it's like the tram's actually falling apart and lighting on fire or something like that. I'm not too sure. We can't really tell from the screenshot, but it looks awesome. Next up, we have Arthur Morgan talking to someone in some type of bar or saloon. This isn't your typical Western saloon. This one is much more high class. We can see someone drinking in the background with their white gloves. We can see someone with an old style tuxedo in the background. This guy's not dressed too bad with one of the bowler hats. And of course, you can see Arthur Morgan. But one interesting thing about him is he doesn't have any weapons equipped on him. So I'm not sure if that's going to be an option in the game where we have to purposely disequip our character of his weapons to enter certain locations, or if this is during a mission or something like that. This seems like it's taken out of a cutscene and not necessarily just in terms of some gameplay interaction. Moving on, we have Mount Hagen in the Grizzlies in Ambarino. This is really cool. You can see this massive mountain. This seems to be Red Dead Redemption 2's answer to Mount Chiliad in GTA 5. And in Mount Hagen at the Grizzlies, one of the more well-known peaks in the snow grizzlies of Ambarino is Mount Hagen, which towers above Lake Isabella to the west and Beartooth Beck to the east, which provides the main pass through the western mountain range and joins up with the Dakota River further south. In these two screenshots here, they're absolutely incredible. This basically confirms that there's going to be blizzards in the game, just like we saw in the gameplay trailer, where we thought maybe the blizzards were mission specific, where we saw Dutch and Arthur making their way through one of the blizzards. I thought it would maybe be mission specific, but I wanted it to be basically whenever it's supposed to technically rain anywhere on the map because of the dynamic weather system they have in Red Dead Redemption 2. When you're up in the mountains, it's not going to be rain, it's going to be snow because of the elevation and it being so cold. So in these screenshots, you can see the gang taking on this encampment here. This looks like an old whaling town, but it's actually not because you're in the mountains. They're not by the ocean or anything like that. But it's a really cool camp up here. We can see Arthur Morgan literally just shooting some guy right there. And if you look closely, there's blood in the snow. So there is going to be a good amount of gore in this game. I guess it was just lacking from the gameplay trailer, or we just didn't see it for some odd reason in the gameplay trailer. I'm not too sure, but they go so far as to show each of the individual horse tracks in the snow, and they're not just horse imprints. You could see the depth inside of them. It looks like the horse hooves are dragging their way through the snow, not just leaving a footprint down. So that's really cool as well. These two screenshots up in Mount Hagen are fantastic. Moving on, we have Rhodes at the Scarlet Meadows in Lemoyne. And Rhodes is prim and proper on the surface, but tensions and corruption run deep in the southern town of Rhodes, which for years has been caught up in the crossfire between the Braithwaites and the Greys, two warring plantation families. I'm not sure if this is going to be a huge element of the game. I'm sure it will be, since they're literally mentioning it in the description for Rhodes in the Scarlet Meadows in Lemoyne, but it's really cool. We can see Arthur Morgan here. This screenshot looks like something right out of HBO and Boardwalk Empire. He has his weapon drawn at the bank of Rhodes, and look at that light diffusion coming through whatever windows there. That just looks so angelic. It's awesome, and it's also very symbolizing here because the light is coming from behind Arthur Morgan, and in front of him, you know, even though the light's shining there, the light is still coming from behind, meaning the darkness is in front of Arthur Morgan, and he has his weapon drawn at someone at the bank. So he's about to rob the bank, and it's a great screenshot in my opinion. The film major's coming out inside of me. That's probably one of my favorites in the entire collection here. And then moving on, we can see Arthur Morgan, Micah Bell, Sean McGuire, and also Bill Williamson without a beard here just walking through Rhodes, and this is pretty cool as well. Next up, we have Strawberry, and Strawberry's in the Big Valley in West Elizabeth, and the description for Strawberry was that it was little more than a small logging town until the arrival of its new mayor, an East Coast eccentric who's obsessed with transforming it into a cultural beacon for wealthy tourists, much to the amusement of the locals. We can see here, I'm not sure who this guy is next to Arthur Morgan, but they're sprinting through Strawberry with their weapons drawn, either after some type of heist, but it's great to see that they are both dual wielding revolvers here. It seems like this guy is more like crouch running. Arthur Morgan's just in a full-on sprint here. He's not stopping for anyone. I can't tell if they're running away from someone, like the law or a different gang, or if they're actually running after someone, and it could be this mayor to hold him for ransom for money or something like that. That's just my speculation. Very cool screenshot as well, and we can also see the Trackers Hotel here in Strawberry, which was also in the trailer as well, and we can see the mill slide in the background and the horse carriage and other people just hanging out around the hotel as well. And I think that's Arthur Morgan right there, but I'm not too sure. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. And then lastly, we have LAGRAS in the Bayou in Lemoyne, and LAGRAS is a small remote settlement out in the swamps of Bayou NWA, Lemoyne. The people of LAGRAS live self-sufficiently for the most part, making little money here and there from fishing and acting as guides for travelers wishing to navigate the region. Of course, if these are swamps, people need to get around with boats because they need to be protected from alligators and things like that. So LAGRAS people will act as guides to help them out. One of the coolest screenshots as well here, maybe not be one of my favorite, but I think it's probably the coolest in the whole collection here itself, is this screenshot of Arthur Morgan wading his way through the bayou at night. We've seen this in trailer 2 as well, I think, either trailer 2 or 3, but basically Arthur Morgan is wading his way through here, and you can see the alligator behind him with glowing orange or red eyes. It's really cool. And just look at Arthur Morgan's face. He's terrified. The facial features on these characters are done perfectly. He actually looks terrified, and this way we kind of get to learn about Arthur Morgan. He's not just kind of like this guy who's like, screw life, I'm doing my own thing. He does actually care in some way because he's scared from the alligator behind him. Whether he knows it's behind him and he's trying to not grab its attention too much so it attacks, or he's like starting to run away from it, I'm not too sure, but it looks like he's trying to be stealthy and sneak up on someone wading his way through the water while not trying to get the attention of that alligator. But that thing looks hungry, Arthur Morgan looks scared, and it's a great screenshot. And then lastly, it seems like Arthur Morgan has defeated the alligator in this screenshot. He's in the bayou skinning or just harvesting some type of alligator. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube talking about that it may not be an alligator, but I mean, you could see the scales there, and I don't know what else it would be. I doubt it would be a Komodo dragon or some shit like that, but it's really cool to see these screenshots. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, please drop a like on it down below. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, because I'm going to have more videos coming out throughout the week here in regards to these Red Dead Redemption 2 screenshots. We got so much. The question now is if we're going to see gameplay on Thursday. 2 weeks ago, we saw the wanted poster for Dutch Vanderland as well as the character artworks with their quotes, and we thought gameplay would be dropping at the end of the day. Obviously, that wasn't the case, and we didn't hear anything about Red Dead Redemption 2 last week from Rockstar. So this week, people are expecting the gameplay trailer to drop, but they could bamboozle us once again and hold off on gameplay this week, and instead of bringing it out on September 20th, which is a Thursday this week, they could bring it out on Thursday, September 27th. So we have potentially between 3 days and 10 days to wait until we see Red Dead Redemption 2 gameplay trailer part 2, but it's very close, guys. I've been saying it for a while, but I think it's finally time to say that it's coming very, very soon. So just keep an eye out on the channel. Like I said, drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Let's see if we can get 200 likes on this video, as well as subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. If you guys want to win an Ultimate Edition copy of Red Dead Redemption 2, just check the link down in the description. The first link down there, I'm giving away an Ultimate Edition copy for free here on my channel. Just follow the rules. And then also, guys, be sure to follow me on Twitter at HazardousHDTV so I can keep in touch with you guys in real time over on there. It's the best way to get in touch with me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a fantastic day, and I will see you all in the next Red Dead Redemption 2 video. Adios, amigos.